for a crock pot this size, this would be full of goat fat. So this is leaf fat around the organs, kidneys such as that, caul fat, different fats around the inside. Very clean, very nutritious. This is I don't know, I think it was a 7-quart crock pot. I put 2 quarts of water in it. Once it's full, that fills in all the voids around the fat. It's only about a third of the way up with water. So once this melts down some, I'll hit it with an emulsion blender, and the water will pull all the impurities out. Any kind of little bit of dirt or anything you got on your fat will come out down to the bottom. All right, so this has been cooking on high for about maybe 3.5 hours. It's gotten to where it's getting a little translucent. It's very, I wouldn't say liquidy, but it's very soft. So now you can speed this process up. Leave it on high. Use your emulsion blender or submersion blender, whatever. Some people call it different things. But the main thing is this is hot, and it's hot oil. You want to keep this inside your dish, inside whatever you're cooking in, whatever you're heating it up in. You can do this in a turkey roaster. This is just a small batch, so we use the crock pot. So you just keep it on the bottom, on low. You want to angle it like so, just about like this, and just slowly move it around. You see it turns into like this milky consistency. That's the water, air bubbles, and the fat that's mixing up. But it's getting chopped up really fine, and that's going to help it melt even faster. Very important that you do not bring this out while it's still spinning. It will sling hot oil, water, all that, all over your cabinets, whatever you're around, your pet if he's in here, you. So it's hot, it will burn you, it'll scald you. I want it to be right now, and I'm going to leave this to cook some more, probably another 3 hours, finish melting everything out really good, and we'll come back. Alright, once you got it cooled off, you're going to take it over to your sink. You're going to get a bowl, and you're going to scoop the fat so that your water level is going to be down and around here. Your fat's going to be on top of that, and all your impurities are going to be down in that water. So you want to kind of scoop the fat off the top, or tallow, and you end up with what looks like a bowl of mashed potatoes at first. So this goes back in for another rendering. And what will happen is even more impurities or whatever, little bits of meat that may be still on will go to the bottom. They'll sink through the oil once that fat melts. Go down to that water, and that will allow that fat to float on top of that water. Once you get your water in there, I put about 1.5 quarts in there. Once you get it in there, you're going to want to put this on low. Let this let it just simmer until everything is melted back down, and then turn it off. Let it cool. Scoop the fat, tallow. Repeat the process until you're satisfied with the product. All right, so this is after the second rendering. You can tell the oil is floating on the top of the water. All that down in there that you see, it's kind of a yellowish, there's a little darker color here. Those are all impurities, little bits of meat, etc., that have sunk down to the between the layer of what's going to be the tallow here and the water below. This is our second rendering. Once you turn your crock pot off and everything cools down, it's going to be pretty solid. What you'll do is you'll make a cut across this way and a cut across this way, and then you'll take out the pieces, you'll flip them over and scrape off any bits of meat or whatever it would be on it to further the purification process. All right, so here you can see I've cut it into fourths, and there's not much on it. There's a little bit right here that I'll scrape off. Once I get it scraped off, I put it in the strainer, and then I dump this water. This water's pretty clear, really. And once I dump the water, clean it out, I'll put it back in there, put it on warm, let everything melt up again. We'll do this one more time. This is the third rendering of this goat tallow. All right, well, it's been about 8 hours. It didn't necessarily take 8 hours. Let's see what we got. We got a few little air bubbles in there. We'll give this a little stir, knock those air bubbles down. It's looking really good. You can just take a fork and just go through it like this and knock those air bubbles. This will also encourage anything that's remaining in here as far as bits of stuff you don't want. So also encourage them to go on down into the water. So from what I can tell, this is probably going to be the last time rendering. It's pretty clear. So I'll turn the heat off, and I'll just let this sit until it's cool. Once it's cool, I'll go ahead and pull it out and scrape the bottom again, and get it ready to put in jars. This is the final product after it is melted and strained, and now it is ready to be put into jars. So we ended up with 1 quart and 2.5 pints. So really we ended up with 2 quarts and a half of a pint after everything's said and done. You can see where it's already starting to kind of turn that white color. Got a little bit at the top that's still a little clear, but we reused our old lids. You see that's spaghetti sauce from 22. It doesn't have to seal. It'll be kept in the refrigerator or it'll be kept on the countertop. It is shelf stable once you do all this to it. So you can do this with a variety of fats if you like. I think some people will actually render down duck fat, which is probably absolutely delicious. And it's actually sundown, and the rooster doesn't know that, obviously. He thinks it's time to get up or something. Anyhow, this is how we do it. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and come join us on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, this is Lewis and Sally for Blue Ridge Homestead saying, come grow with us.